to get it, bro. Hard to see with the glasses on.
The ship's got glasses on.
I think you should get the sleepy space saucer there. Right across the chest.
Well, that would...
Geometrically, you think that would work?
No straight lines in nature.
That would have more meaning for him to get than me getting the rocket. Because he's the tired alien.
Yeah. Or go full face tattoo, man. Just across the cheek. Just a little...
Oh, you should get a couple Z's for sure.
The Z's are kind of like what makes it... kind of like the little proofs of smoke.
I fell asleep in jail.
Or a word bubble.
A word bubble. Exactly. Saying spaceship.
Saying spaceship.
Yeah. I'm tired.
I'm tired, yeah. Exhausted here. Exhausted.
Oh, yeah. Across the jaw.
Yeah,
Exhausted.
Down into the beard. Like
Yeah,
fucking
Exactly.
yeah.
You can cover it up. It's like...
Brent
pretty much-
Hind from...
You
No
just
rest.
have to shave a little notch out of the beard to show it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Little window. Beard window.
La chingada. Boys finally asleep, boys.
Just happened.
What are you talking about? Save me some chicken or what?
Oh, absolutely.
Holy. There is chicken in that box? I thought it was going to be filled with cords or something.
Alright, fill me in what we were talking about.
You want to tell him?
Why are you wearing your headphones? Were you listening to music while fucking Wes was talking to you?
That's why there's not much to report.
Are you playing hard to get?
What? I couldn't hear you because I had my headphones in.
So what were you talking about?
Well, I was trying to get his attention about this idea I had.
Go
Ready
on.
for this?
Yeah.
So I know that we're kind of living. It might be in the late stage of this kind of age of spin-offs. Like everything's being remade and stuff like that. We can come up with all kinds of examples from like Godzilla, Top Gun, all that.
Remakes, reboots.
Oh.
But there are just for some reason some things that haven't been imitated again. And for it really confuses me why Scarface hasn't seen a rebirth. Came out in 1983, solid film, solid standalone film.
Because he's dead, isn't he?
Well, I mean, yeah, he died, but you could also, in the age of the reboot, get it, that whole just kind of retelling of that story. But the thought that I had was that he ended his relationship so quickly with that love interest that he stole from
Michelle
former-
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. That she could have been pregnant when they broke up. And then Tony Montana could have a son that is the protagonist of this sequel.
The only problem is that her womb was so polluted from all the cocaine that she did that I
That's what
can't
they
even
thought.
have a baby.
That's what they thought. That created pressure on the relationship.
Did she
and
die?
there's all the things.
Well, even if
She just leaves. She just takes off.
even
And so
if
you
they
never
did
see where
make
she
a
ends up.
sequel, you wouldn't have known because he wouldn't have been a Scarface. That was a feature unique to his father.
And
It's not something you're born with.
Baby face.
That's the thing. What if you had a baby face? Exactly. Or some part of the film gets a scar or something like that to just pay it off. But this is the descendant of Tony Montana. Of course, was exposed to some substances while he was in the womb, and also maybe his mother, who he was growing up with, is still experiencing. She's on that yayo, right? And so he's living this tough life, maybe a little mentally off, short-tempered, just like his father. And I think that guy can get in all kinds of trouble. So why Scarface 2 hasn't been made a thing, I don't really know. Because there's all kinds of ways you could go with it. He could run into a cousin or something like that.
Little Chi-Chi?
Yeah, a little Jerry Lee Lewis action.
And maybe they both have the Montana last name, so sometimes they cross
Yeah.
paths. And that would be a lot like a place between Behind the Pines. Did you see Ryan Gosling and Douglas Cooper in A Place Behind the Pines? Ryan Gosling and Douglas Cooper have this conflict. One of them's a law enforcement, one of them's a bank robber, and one of them kills the other, and then their kids meet later on, and that's the actual focus of the film. Their kids meet, and they actually become friends, but then they learn that their parents had conflict.
Yeah, little Romeo and Romeo.
Yeah, so some sort of conflict like that, or it's just young Tony Montana trying to make his way in the world. I think that would work as a film. I think it would be a box office smash.
Prequel?
Well,
because everything could get a prequel.
That's I was thinking the same thing. I was
almost
thinking the
a cheat code.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. You can always tell a story that happened before the film, and you unpack the character in some other way. Yeah.
So, say you want to fire out a message to the guy who wrote Scarface, who would you be talking to?
Yeah, those are the details I didn't look up. Actually, I thought the pros would know that.
Francis Coppola? No, he did Godfather. Who did? No, Scarface was Oliver Stone. God damn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You an Oliver Stone fan?
You know, it's a passing interest, I suppose. Yeah, he's done a variety of things.
He's alumni on the podcast.
That's true.
Yeah. Two-time.
What else you do?
Any Given Sunday, you were just watching the monologue from Al Pacino. We did, what was the other one that we did?
Platoon.
Oh, Platoon. He also did Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
He's done so many movies.
Yeah, they should do a sequel to JFK.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it working.
Did they do a sequel to Titanic?
I was thinking that because of the second Titanic that didn't end well either.
Yeah.
I heard technically
what do you think
there
would
was
be a good
sequel to Titanic.
I was actually talking to my dad. He said John Carter. John Carter 2.
John Carter 2, twice as high.
The movies he doesn't want to get made?
Oh, he loves John
that film.
Carter. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
So what do you think?
Orders his media like he does his cheeseburger.
Yeah, exactly. One ingredient at a time. This movie must be directed by Oliver Stone, but has to have Johnny Depp in it and a blonde.
You put it together, make it work.
Yeah.
So no Brian De Palma whatsoever.
No, fuck
no
that guy.
involvement.
What do you think would be a good
Was
sequel?
he just a slabber to you?
What makes a good sequel? Does it have to be based on like a character?
The best sequels are on land.
Django 2?
Does
it have to be about that? Does it, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking
I'm surprised
Barrels?
he didn't go for KB3.
Could it just follow the guns? Little dead man gun action? You just follow the guns to all new characters? Don't gotta do that?
No, then in that case, make a sequel to The Mexican.
Yeah. Well, you can't have...
That's the closest to a rom-com I like.
Yeah, but you can't have Tony Soprano in it anymore.
That's true.
Does he die in it?
I don't think he made it. Yeah. Damn.
Whoever got to take on the role and fill his part would probably take a lot of pride in it.
Yeah.
Who would you cast in that role?
In what? Scarface 2?
Yeah. So it's like
I thought about that.
It's the Nepo baby of sequels.
Yeah. Is that what you were asking me?
No, for Gandolfini.
Who would play him? That was probably his son.
Who did?
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, I would like to see...
I'd like to see a movie about Ben Harrison, am I right?
Is that the other Beatle?
No, he's 23rd President of the United States.
You want a piece of chicken?
He's 2 after Chester A. Arthur.
Who wouldn't want to see Sixth Element, right?
His wife
Seventh Element?
His wife passed away when he was in office, and then
Corbin
he married
Dallas?
her niece.
Those were the days. I thought they'd never end.
Yeah, an American president.
Yeah. What if Thelma and Louise made it?
What if?
If they made that jump.
Oh, well, if you're getting into things that end like that, you're going to probably burn one on Inception, will you?
Well, that's what I'm trying to think of. What would be like a cheat move?
The multiverse.
There's definitely some cheats when you're going sequels.
The multiverse is an accepted thing in entertainment now. Pop culture.
And then, like, is a spin-off a sequel?
Not really.
Like, if 12 Monkeys, like, doesn't follow the Bruce Willis character, but follows the Brad Pitt, like, the gang. The actual 12 Monkeys gang. And you see 12 Monkeys before?
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah, they'll just be revisiting the universe and playing around with the characters in a different way. kind of a sequel. Anyway, pulling from that original IP, which is what you see so much of in the era of the remakes.
I'd love to see Caesar Sose get found. Yeah, Kaiser Sose.
I would watch it.
Usual Suspects.
Oh, I know who it is, guy.
So
Gabriel Byrne.
Do you have an idea?
End of Days
No.
2. How about that?
Gabriel
Throw
Byrne.
that on your wish list.
It was the nameless guy. Who might get his name back soon.
I mean, he was in.
Gabriel Byrne was in it, yeah. Also in Hereditary. You wanted a sequel to that? Fucking madness?
Benicio del Toro, lean and mean in that one.
Yeah.
Gangly like a young Lake Wazamo.
Yeah. Stinking up the questioning line. Hear that story?
Going too method with his smell.
No, they're all in the lineup, and I guess he was drinking all night before it, and he just kept farting.
Well,
and
they're probably...
the shot where they're all geeking out laughing is actually because they're all laughing at him because he stinks so bad. And they're in this little confined area, and they're trying to look like badasses, except for Kitten Spacey. Did you ever see this movie, Usual Suspects? Oh man, you get it. Yeah. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's an all-star cast. Sure.
Yeah.
How about you? You got any sequel pitches?
What would be a super badass movie? But I'm wondering if this is kind of a cheat. But
Super Bad 2?
Con Air 2? Like, I'd love to see Cyrus the Virus, but he got. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't really want to see a Garland Green.
You can bring people back. No one dies.
Yeah?
You can bring people back.
That would be a badass one. What do you think of that?
I'm just wondering how they would get back on the plane, because you could think, of course.
Yeah, they wouldn't be like, that was a bad idea.
We need Nicolas Cage on this. He's the only one that knows how to take down an aerial prison raid.
He's a guard now.
That might be
exactly. They go and get him. Cameron Poe.
That might be the easiest part of production is getting him involved.
yeah, exactly. Deal. I'm in.
Yeah. My word.
I love that. Whereas the thing on YouTube, I think it was Funny or Die, when it's Nicolas Cage's agent, and he's pitching him like shitty movies, and he's like, I'm in. And then at the end, he's like, I'm making these up. It's like fucking, yeah. Return of the Cat Ass or something like that. He's like, deal. And then the poster keeps changing. So you see the poster of everything that he says that he'll be in, and then it goes to the next one. The poster keeps changing. It's hilarious. A couple sequels in there. What do you think would be a good sequel?
I don't know. I'm kind of still pondering Wes's. I mean, it seems like low-hanging fruit, Scarface, but inevitably you'd want more from it.
Maybe we're thinking too actiony. Could we get like a... what about Fully Baked? Bring Dave Chappelle back?
Is there a half-baked 2 yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, it's
have to
out
look it
there.
up.
Jim Brewer was in it again.
Could you give us like a top 10 sequels that, like, maybe AI has already asked this question? What movies should have sequels?
Figured it out.
Can you guys AI your shit?
Oh yeah, I got a couple posters. We should post my
you got
poster
some
up.
posters?
Put my poster up. This is my promotional poster.
What, you just did the pictures? You didn't do like, was that like your number 10 or something, Scarface? You doing a little
That's my
countdown?
number one. That's my number one. The only other idea that I would be able to suggest to you guys and be proud about is, did you guys see Little Giants?
Yeah, of
Rick
course.
Moranis as the coach.
Yeah.
So
Ted
it's just
Bundy?
those guys get that whole cast back together again as adults that are also doing a beer league or something like
That'd
that. Big Giants. We could workshop the title a little bit, but then
Giants.
some of them,
Giant.
the ironic ones, jack them up and they made it in the NFL.
Giant
later
shrimp.
on. Or CFL or something.
Jumbo
like that.
Shrimp.
So they get that guy, Rick Moranis, bring him back in. For whatever reason, they all have to be called back together. And some of them have drinking problems, broken bones. Perhaps Icebox
One
has
guy's
gone.
last time seen in Mexico. We got to go to Mexico and find this guy.
Got him, exactly. Those kind of characters, right? That could be the cowboy guy that they have
This
to
is like a
recruit.
Blues Brothers recruitment mission.
Yeah.
And like that, maybe it's the bringing everyone back together and seeing where they're at. That's actually the focus of the film. And then sure, they play a game of football at the end, but it's not really that big of a deal. But it would be funny to see Icebox, who is the leader. She was like the
It's not
the
about the
master maker.
football anymore. It's the
not about the
friendships you
football.
make.
It's the people and
fishing. They
just
just
seeing
fish
all
more.
those people. I think that would be. I get a lot of entertainment out of seeing someone come back for a
Big
role.
rascals.
Big Rascal.
When was the last time you watched Little Giants?
I watched the trailer down here just to remember all the faces that are in it, because there's a lot of interesting guys.
While
Everyone's
you're on
still
your
alive, I'm pretty
headphones.
sure. Yeah, I had the headphones on. I was watching it.
Rude.
Did it hold up?
But
I
I
haven't
think
seen it since '94.
yeah, you could do little twists on the characters and stuff like that. Like I said, one person that was originally small could have made it, and then Icebox, rather than being a tomboy, she's maybe taken a traditional feminine kind of lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
And there be I could make jokes about the name and the nickname that she had in other ways, and then she gets maybe shaken out of that and then returns to her love of football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like The Big Lebowski?
Big Lebowski too. Boom.
Did it have one?
Spin-off.
I thought it must have a spin-off at least.
Did the Jesus Rolls?
I never saw it.
No.
No.
Does it follow the Nihilists or what?
You going for this last piece or
That's all
what?
you.
No, John Turturro.
Okay.
The dude who's in trouble, licking his balls. You know what I'm talking about?
I'd love to see it.
You didn't see The Big Lebowski?
I saw the Big Lebowski. I don't remember anyone looking.
Give
at
him your best impression of it.
Yeah, do an impression.
You don't fuck with the Jesus.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
You could follow John Goodman's character around, something like that. You know, I'd love to see that guy existing in Trump's America.
No, but the Jesus Rolls
That guy stormed the Capitol building for sure. So
there was a real sequel where you remember in the movie he's the pervert. They're like he got caught looking at kids or doing something with kids.
he did.
And
Best buddy?
and it shows like a flashback where he's got to go like knock on all the doors and say that
Introduce
like a
himself.
predator's living in the neighborhood.
John Goodman's character.
No, John Turturro,
Okay, John Turturro. No, I don't remember.
skinny
He's
guy.
very, very sneaky.
He's wearing like purple, like silk or something.
He's Falcone in the new Batman.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of Coen Brother stuff.
Alright,
Yeah.
Cool.
He's fuck. What was the movie he was in? Barton Fink.
Oh, Barton Pig's solid. Yeah.
He's
I've never seen it, but you've been
he's
trying
the
to get me
main
on.
dude in
It's
it.
amazing. John Goodman's in that as well.
He's Barton.
He's the Jack Nance of that.
John Goodman's the common thread here.
But yeah, and they explained what he did that was a pervert move in the Jesus Rolls.
Sorry, boys. My fucking fingers were so greasy from that chicken. Couldn't even text. What were you saying, Adam? Something about Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah. It explained in his spin-off movie what he did that was the perv move and how he ended up going to jail. But they had to, make it something where you'd still want to follow the character through the movie because they show it at the beginning
Yeah.
and they spin it.
It's a
They
spin-off.
spin it.
It?
Yeah. I don't want to spoil. Well, I mean, I should. It's probably got like a 3.3 on IMDb. But
Spoil away.
so it's going to be close to a spoiler. But he's in a public bathroom and he's using a urinal, and this kid comes in and is like staring at his huge hog, and he just like looks over. He's like, "Not bad, eh?"
Yeah.
and that's
That
all it
gets him in
was.
trouble.
It's always a pissing accident, just like in what's that? Horrible Bosses. Charlie Day.
Motherfucker.
He's like not allowed. He's not allowed around any kids, and he just got caught pissing in a public park or something like that. And they're like, it was a playground. You had it out in a playground. Like, I had to pee.
The victim of circumstances. Nature calls. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Did you like Chinatown?
I can't remember seeing Chinatown.
Jack Nicholson.
I don't think I saw that.
It's a great neo-noir mystery.
I kept saying L.A. Confidential last time
Right.
you were here, but we're gonna bring on the sequel to Chinatown here pretty soon.
Yeah. It's a great movie. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Roman Polanski.
What's the plot of the first one?
It's kind of convoluted, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
It's not a quick say.
Yeah.
But Jack plays Jack.
It's like basically
Jake. Plays Jake,
Is
of
he
course.
a Jake?
Yeah, of course.
Just
Because
mix it
of
up a
this,
little bit.
because it does have a sequel called The Two Jakes.
Yeah.
I was gonna
It's
call.
a very tropey film noir.
Yeah.
Just has like
Okay.
everything that you could imagine of a film noir.
The
They
first watch
making
through
this movie,
is
they
a
just
great
checked all the
twist.
boxes.
But it's wicked because it's got these undertones of like it takes place in L.A. and they're building the Cloverleaf like freeway system, and so is it that's involved, or maybe that was meant to be in the sequel? I can't remember, but but it's like
Oh, the
developers.
sequel talk.
There's something to do with the water as well.
Yeah.
With the orange fields and stuff. So it's it's good at raising the stakes and like bringing big figures in the city into this thing that starts out pretty small, is just like my husband was murdered or something to that effect. But he starts falling in love with the girl, or at least getting some, and
So you think it's got legs for a sequel?
Oh, it does have a sequel.
yeah.
Okay.
Two Jakes.
Yeah, the Two Jakes with Harvey Keitel from
Yeah.
The Dogs.
Yeah, the only survivor.
Yeah.
Really?
They wanted Tim Roth, but
Oh,
he
geez.
did.
Yeah.
I guess this would be considered a spin-off, but I've been trying to watch the movie Mank. You know what that is?
Shalhoub?
It's all about the
Tony?
making of
Shalhoub?
Citizen Kane.
Is that right? No, sorry.
And I thought it was more about Orson Welles, but it's actually about the guy who wrote the script. And I forget his full name, but he's Mank. Like
Right.
That's his nickname. Everyone calls him Mank. And I'm not just saying this because David Fincher was the director. And his father actually wrote the script for Mank,
Fincher's
which I
dad?
thought was pretty cool. Yeah.
He made Papa's script?
Yeah.
When are you going to do a Mikey?
No, he's going to be too hard with the plot. We need this, we need that. Come on, put it in the microwave.
I want one
The
intergalactic.
microwave. That's what he calls them when he runs it through.
Yeah,
I do like films about films. I've always
Yeah.
found that really entertaining.
and it's the making of the film. And one of the Phyllis thinks it's the greatest film of all time, other than English Patient.
Oh yeah, where's
But
Phyllis
she thinks that English Patient should get a sequel.
at? Right.
Revenge of the English Patient.
Did you ever see Less Than
No
Zero?
more patience.
What?
You ever see Less Than Zero?
No, I don't think I saw that.
Based on, you've seen American Psycho?
Yeah.
The guy who wrote that, Bret Easton Ellis,
Mm.
he wrote this book called Less Than Zero, and Robert Downey Jr. and Andrew McCarthy was in it. And anyway, the book has a sequel, and
I was wondering that.
called
Novels that
Inher-
have movies, but the
Not
sequel
Inherent.
doesn't.
Interior something. But anyway, the book talks about the movie made on the original book.
Self-referential
Oh, yeah.
stuff, and you break
Yeah.
through the third wall, fourth wall.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like Scream, how they kept making the
Yeah,
movies
yeah.
about it.
yeah, definitely.
But hear me out. So this movie is all about the making of Citizen Kane. And if you look into Orson Welles' career, like his last decade of life,
Imperial Bedrooms.
he
that's
didn't
what it's
make. He made these two films that was like F is for Fake, which was like a half documentary style, and was about these fake artists. Like even if he felt some kind of like imposter syndrome later on in his career because he couldn't come up with anything,
Yeah.
he was trying to make all these films, but he always ran out of money or ran into some kind of hurdle that he couldn't get over. So
Are
he
you gonna
just
give
started
us-
doing these little documentaries about the filming of this movie, the filming of that, and he'd direct like a TV series or something like that, or like a episode of. And then there's this movie called The Other Side of the Wind that he was writing when he
Someone
died.
in a coma?
I'm not sure. Maybe. That just came out in 2018. But The Other Side of the Wind, like, they would have just had to finish it. I don't know who even would have done it. But he was half done that, the script there. So I was thinking that maybe this is a spin-off because the first movie isn't about him. But if the sequel was about him and going through his career, it could even like pick up right where Mank left off, and then it could play out like Citizen Kane, how it plays different parts of his life going on to his death.
Nice.
And we always trying to write this masterpiece, and he just never gets to it. He never gets to finish it, and it could be called The Imitator.
Right.
Nice.
Because the artist is now, or the reality is now imitating the art. Or it was the other way around, because he was always director, actor, writer, all the above. So I thought that'd be badass.
I would see it. Would you go with me if I asked you to?
He said that so softly.
I don't even know. I just started
I don't
to
even
get
know
to know
if the mics
Mank.
would have picked that
Now
up.
I feel like you got all of Mank's
didn't want
life
to be
story.
I've never seen it. Give me a bastard or what? I've never seen Mank. I've just been wanting to watch it.
It sounds like you just want a biopic somehow.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is that some biopics, they always end with like some kind of happy ending where it's usually like the middle of the career. So there is some biopics that could get a sequel. For sure.
Next part.
But it would probably not have
I think Queen is banking on that.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking every day, Brian May's in the fucking offices waiting.
Yeah.
I'll just wait.
Yeah.
I wonder which biopic would have enough demand around it to actually do a second one. I think, like, we also are in this time when biopics are really, like, everyone, it kind of started with Ray Charles, I thought, or
Ray,
Walk
and
the
then
Line.
Walk the Line.
And
Well, they had to wait for these people to get old enough to make movies.
They're
Bob
the exact
Marley's
same
coming
movie,
out
actually.
now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like those things, that's a type of film that is totally viable now, and someone has to take an interesting character, but someone that has a sequel, that'd be pretty fucking famous.
Yeah.
And there are some people
Pretty
you could
great
do that
career,
with.
yeah.
Elton
I
John,
can't
that
believe
was
you said
fully,
it started with
Walkman was
Ray
full
when there's a
circle.
billion biopics.
No, but I know what he means, that Ray set it off to like all these new biopics. Like there was just
Walk
a
the
stream of
Line.
them every single year. There was one coming out.
And I'm sure there
A
were
little
some
bit
others
like
that preceded it.
Ali around the same time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not just music.
Did you see Miles Ahead?
No.
Don Cheadle or Cheadle
Yeah.
plays Miles Davis in it.
No.
That'd
No,
be
I didn't see
powerful.
that.
Yeah.
I've seen. Did he play one of the Rat Pack? He played Sammy Davis Jr. in something. Almost possible.
In
Really?
Walk Hard.
I wouldn't. Cast, I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't cast him for Sammy Davis Jr. Who would I cast for
Almost.
Sammy Davis Jr.?
So, can you think of any good prequels?
Well, I mean, really, you can do a prequel on anything.
I said earlier, me and Wes were talking about this. And
You
I
can't
said,
do one on Adam and Eve.
17.
You could do it on one on Adam and Eve. Definitely, man.
What would it be
you could
about?
You could get really creative with how you're depicting the thought process of creating the human
About-
form or something like that.
Passion of the Christ, just Jesus as a little boy.
Yeah, he's growing up.
Playing
He's getting
soccer-
bullied. Maybe
soccer.
he shows he has these powers, something like that. It's a bit like the middle of Jesus' life.
Just
might
so
have been
much
his best.
foreshadowing throughout the
There's
whole
a lot
thing.
of foreshadowing.
Falling down, cutting his hands.
Yeah, there's all of the kind of stories in the Bible maybe are acted out or something like that.
Yeah.
Not all of them,
Yeah.
but
It can
They're
show.
doing a little play, and they can only make a crown out of thorns.
It can show every
or you're saying it gets
second
to
of him
modern
being
glory.
conceived
modern,
and maintain a G rating.
What?
What? Joseph keeps trying.
I said it can show every second of him being conceived and still keep a G rating.
Yeah. Joseph is trying to cut his hair, and he's like, "No, I'm growing it out, Dad. This is the style."
Yeah. It was before scissors, guy.
I said 17.
Yeah, 17 was...
Kevin Spacey's character as he's like coming up with this master plan in high school. Kind of like My Friend Dahmer.
Yeah. And there's instances of things that happen. Like, the teacher's just over him. They got that kind of, you're waking up in the hospital sound. He's, like, in his own world, right?
He's learning about the deadly
Yeah,
sins.
and she's like...
I'm down for 17.
Yeah,
That's
and
intense.
his teacher's
He
like,
gets
going,
inter-
what's in the box? What's in the box?
Yeah.
Just
Show
like-
and tell.
Yeah.
What's in the box? Yeah. See?
Yeah.
But I was
Oh, yeah,
thinking,
like-
Yeah,
The
lifting up the
references to
desk,
fan service
seeing
are
the
all
box
part of
in there.
yeah.
I was thinking that a sequel to Seven, another David Fincher, could be 9. And it's not now Seven Deadly Sins, but it's the 9 Circles of Hell, which I know is like Dante's Inferno.
Also, I was wondering why hasn't a film been made about Dante's Inferno? It's right there.
There
and
is
it's set-
anime.
and it's set up as a
Awesome
I
animes.
see the animated film. That was great because that's what you kind of need to illustrate all of the things that they explain in Dante's Inferno and all the other the other levels or the Purgatory and Paradise, which are the sequel and the third to make this full trilogy. It's just all right there. Someone just has to invest in a live action because with today's technology, which is why we have so many remakes.
Oh yeah,
Because
now
these
that
films
they have
are
the
made
boring
earlier on.
machine, they can get down there to
Yeah, we're in all
film.
exactly. They can go right there, shoot it live, do method acting and everything, involve some of the locals, and but because we are just able to create such amazing, usually with computer generated images and stuff. There's the remakes are just enhancing old films, and I think that actually is worthwhile. Like I think that Pet Sematary, it was also better written.
Yeah,
Pet Sematary's remake was better. The Thing, I do like the classic The Thing, but I think the second one is even more freaky.
Sicario, the sequel, I think is way better than
Sicario's
the
sequel?
first one. Not that the first
yeah.
one's bad, but I thought
That was tight.
they really elevated it in the second one, where that doesn't usually happen with the sequel. But so I actually looked up: is there movies like even inspired by Dante's Inferno?
Yeah,
Because this would be like, I don't know if we get Morgan Freeman back or anything, or if we just start from scratch.
He's
with the
probably
casting.
retired
No, he's still going
from the
Yeah,
force.
he'll just
He'd come
narrate.
back for
You never
Dante's
get to
Inferno.
see him. It's just he narrates his part the whole way. But it kind
Wasn't
of
he
it
the-
plays out like that. So it's like you think that Morgan Freeman would be like the Virgil character,
Definitely.
and the other guy is now Dante. That's getting into hell, and they start going to this. Because I have to look up the 9 deadly sins. Yeah, so they get into it, and the first one is like lust, and then it goes gluttony. So you say, oh, it's a copycat. Yeah, he's just doing the 7 deadly sins again. But then greed again, and then number 5,
Sloth.
no sloth.
Wrath.
But it jumps right to wrath midway
Lust.
through. So they're like, whoa, what the
Okay.
fuck? Like, wrath was the last one.
Envy.
So what's he doing? He's switching them all up. And then it goes to heresy.
But are they in order?
Yeah, so they
There's
start questioning things. What's
Pre-order.
right, what's wrong. They go like this would work out like a film. And then it goes to violence. You start getting
Second act.
yeah, exactly. During the end of the second act, shit starts getting really dark. And then fraud and treachery are the last ones. Fraud would be the foreshadowing, and treachery would be that you find out that this character isn't Virgil. He's actually the devil, and he's been setting it up.
Okay.
The actual detective.
Yeah.
And he dragged the new partner, the Brad Pitt character, all the way through it. Just because because 7 actually drove him crazy to do this.
Oh shit, that would work.
Saw
If
that coming
there wasn't
from a
coffee in
mile
here, I'd
away,
mic drop
though.
it.
Oh man, that would really work.
Yeah, I'd be
Could
super
happen.
suspicious of that twist.
I'm down for 17 and I'm down for 9.
Yeah. I think it'd be a good throuple.
Yeah, how many other prequels, sequels has Fincher made?
Is Zodiac I'd love to see the sequel of Zodiac. That could have been a prologue or something.
Oh yeah, they just solved the puzzle a few years ago, and they realized actually there was a typo in his cryptogram, and that was one of the
I guess that
main
makes sense.
hang-ups.
I guess that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
You would make a mistake even with the code. I mean, maybe.
You know, I mean, it was complicated as fuck, but it was super interesting. It was like on YouTube, it was all chronicled how they solved it and shit.
That would throw you for a loop if they'd made a mistake in the code. And then perhaps it would be unsolvable because of that.
Yeah.
I'm digging like this Little Giants, like this reunion movie. And I was looking at Goonies.
Yeah.
Same.
They got to get back down in the find some more treasure.
Yeah.
It's a cheaper type of remake because it's just like do it again. But I think you could
All
write
the people
it well.
that haven't worked since, they're like, please.
I mean,
They're
I
banking
think
on
that'd be
this
cool.
sequel.
I think it'd be cool. If we went
Spanky
that
looks
fast.
like shit right now.
Wes Anderson, also not a big sequel guy.
All standalone films, standalone masterpieces.
Yeah, I'd love to see a couple Tenenbaums cousins,
Well,
the not so royals.
family drifted apart after that whole ordeal a little bit.
Yeah, Richard.
But maybe Rushmore, where now, Bill Murray is super old and fucking Jason Schwartzman is now
Spun.
practically Bill Murray's age from the movie. You know what I mean?
That could
Yeah,
work.
he took over his job.
And now some other jerk smart ass is coming up and giving him the business.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Wants to be an architect just like him. That'll-
What
turns
about,
out to be just a little Van Buren boy.
Yeah, exactly. That's who I'm picturing.
I was just thinking about like these directors that make these amazing films that are so standalone, and Richard Linklater is another director that I look up to a lot.
Okay, all of
But
his
he
films
dabbled-
are kind of sequels.
He dabbled with sequels for the Sunset to
Sunrise,
Sunrise,
yeah.
Dawn to Dusk. Is that what it is? Or,
Boyhood is
Sunset.
fucking four sequels in one
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
It has
that was
all
amazing.
this.
I was so pissed when that didn't win awards. It was up against Whiplash, I think, for best film, and Whiplash
Ba-dum.
swept the charts.
Patricia Arquette did get her dues for it. She got an Oscar, I think.
Yeah, okay. Is that
Alright.
supporting actor or best actress?
Haven't seen her in anything since.
I think.
What about Donnie Darko? Did you think that could have used a sequel? Did you watch?
It had one.
Sometimes you don't want to see something get stretched out, but yeah, you could. Okay, Donnie Darko already.
Now
had
you're
one.
bringing up shitty fucking sequels that already did happen.
Yeah, but everybody wants to forget about him, so maybe they
Yeah,
need a
I definitely haven't
reboot or
seen
a
it.
spin-off or like the people
Make it
involved
about her
with this.
sister or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Make it about his sister or something.
Yeah, maybe they like Maggie didn't want to touch this with a 10-foot.
How do you suck a fuck?
Oh yeah, no, that didn't really get in. Like they answered most of the stuff in Donnie Darko.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
It's
the
wrapped
only
up
thing.
really clean,
Yeah.
but they didn't really
Yeah.
elaborate too much on that.
It's a tough question.
Fuck, old wounds.
Maybe you're just supposed to be left with that to consider it. And you can only strive to suck a fuck.
One I'd want to get made is they only did the one dragon tattoo.
But that's a.
I know
There's
it's
an
the
adaptation,
Swedish
so
one,
it's
but why?
set up as
What
a
about
trilogy
the
once
girl
again.
in the spider web or whatever it's called?
Yeah, and
Isn't
the
that
Kick the
called-
Hornet's
Whoa!
Nest.
Yeah.
The Kick the Hornet's Nest. Like all those are just films that
Yeah, see how
make.
bright it is in here?
Haven't noticed.
And they
that.
made all them movies, and that was like a remake of.
Yeah,
like
the American because there was a European.
yeah, all
was it?
Swedish ones or whatever.
And it was rough. I watched it and it was blocky. The directing was blocky. The acting was blocky. They drew out parts of her photographic memory in really awkward ways. Like she just like looked because they did it very subtly in the American produced one.
It was great.
And with Daniel Craig, it was awesome. And
Fincher?
And then in the other one, they kind of make a big thing of it when they were like,
Can't get off of Fincher.
"Oh,
Bastard.
Fincher's great." Yeah.
He's a good bastard.
Nice.
What am I? Chop liver?
No, man, swing that cup over.
But yeah, they made a big thing of it. Like, whatever her name is, do you have a photographic memory? And it was just like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I'd like to see the follow-up films for that because I did enjoy it. It's fucking smooth.
I've never seen them. I've
I'm
only seen
looking
the
forward
first one.
to Alien. The Alien franchise hasn't always gone well, but there's a third film coming out that I think is actually breaking with the canon.
Third? Is there only three?
There's the originals with I'm going to say the
The
wrong
girl.
name.
Weaver?
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney
Sigourney.
Weaver. She killed it. And that ended with
Sigourney.
Resurrection, and then I think they got Alien versus Predator after that.
Yeah, those
And
ones
so
were
kind
a
of
bit
got off the
silly.
rails for a little bit, and then I'm gonna be bad with names
Covenant.
here. David Cameron came back, and then
James Cameron.
and
Yeah.
and then another director got involved as well, who had made Star Wars.
Yeah.
Lucas.
All the guys that love sequels getting together.
Yeah.
No, it definitely wasn't Lucas.
Spielberg.
I'm mixed up here.
Let's get some shots of spaceships penetrating space labs.
I wish I had some sort of device so I could look up who's directing the next one, because I think it's gone from James Cameron to some other prestigious sci-fi director. And I'm looking
Ridley
forward to the next
Scott.
one. Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott was the original, so Ridley Scott came back in.
Oh, you bastards.
Yeah, he was. You were holding on to him. You knew the answer the whole time.
And then James Cameron came in.
James Cameron came in to make some of the reboots, I think. And then it was just like,
He made 3.
What do you think the
The
best
worst
franchise is? He
He made
Die
th-
Hards?
Didn't he?
So James Cameron came in to make one with Sigourney Weaver, because 3.
No, he must have made 2.
I think Toy Story was like the best franchise ever. You see that?
People don't think they stuck the landing.
I love
They
Toy
thought
Story
that
2.
should have ended
I
at
think Toy Story
3.
2 is better.
Him and Bo Peep got back together, bro. I cried. I knew they were gonna get back
I didn't
together.
see 3 or 4.
Oh, you're missing out.
Oh, damn.
That's what's wrong with you.
That's a very, very deep.
That's why you have no
well.
empathy.
Toy Story.
I
is
mean,
a
it was a
great
little
resource.
too effective when I saw it. I fucking slept like
Scared
the
to watch
dirtbag after that.
Sid?
Yeah. Like how he sits with his bum in the air. Like, it's not the most ideal position for, self-defense wise, but for some reason I leaned into that.
You know, in different Pixar movies, you can watch Sid grown up.
Yeah, he
Grow up.
Yeah, yeah, he pops up.
It's in the
He's fucking
background and stuff.
slapping people in the face and stuff in the background.
Oh, still
But then there's
I thought he
one,
would grow up
he's
as
just like a landscaper, but you can see the shirt.
the skull.
Like, I don't think he even does anything
I
shitty.
love
You
that.
just see him.
Pixar did all that stuff. They did little Easter eggs. All
Yeah.
that shit.
And like the
Forky
next,
was a little crazy, okay? But it was, there's some humor in Forky, like the homemade toy.
Oh yeah, and they wanted
Was
to
it
throw himself
Spoony or
up.
Forky, or you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, they probably would have used a fork just because of the better geometry to be playing with in a 3D landscape.
Little Forker.
Who's that? Tony Hale? Who did
sure.
Fork?
I can't remember.
Wasn't it Buster?
I don't know. I
Arrested
got nothing.
Development.
Whoever did it though, they killed that role.
Yeah.
That guy, I felt his struggle. That's garbage.
I have a face in mind that maybe that was him.
He's on Veep too with Elaine.
Kind of looks like Jeremy Hott's little brother.
Could be.
You know Jeremy Hotz?
Uh,
The stand-up
You've known
comedian?
about Jeremy Hotz longer, but Tony Hale surely makes more money.
Just for laughs, he's always like biting his nails.
He's probably in town right now.
He always looks so nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy.
Or sounds so nervous. He's got that nervous voice.
That works.
Saskatchewan is so flat.
It's funny.
My friend's wife left him and she saw her walking away for 5 days.
I said Saskatchewan.
You saw the same thing.
And then they said, all the A's are I's. It's Saskatchewan.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, he's so
that's
clearly
good.
on edge.
Yeah.
That kinda makes me
I'll be
laugh.
better in the future.
Why I got confused with the director. So James Cameron, he did Terminator, right?
He did, yeah.
And so that's what I was thinking of. Someone that had a sci-fi background. So and Terminator has just been juiced to all hell in different ways. There was really bad, like Terminator 3, terrible. Terminator 2 was amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of those kind
Oh,
of
of course.
upgrades
Yeah.
in the sequel.
Probably the
And
most
in different
quintessential
ways-
What was
movie of my
Terminator
life.
3? Christian Bale?
Maybe
Genesis?
Salvation or
Or,
something.
It was Genesis with and then a T-2000 type character that was played by a woman, and it was I can't remember who the actor was, and it was just
I was pretty easy on some of those new ones with Arnold.
Yeah, I liked the one that
It was fun.
he
One of
fought
them.
himself at the start. Like, you
Yeah.
think that it's going to be this young Arnold that you got to watch the whole time because they de-aged him, but then the old Arnold comes and kills him, and
Love
then
it.
you just that's
And
cool.
with the original actress that played
Linda Hamilton.
No, I didn't see the one with Linda Hamilton back. There was a one before that. This is like 6 or something.
Yeah, you know,
Might even be the one right
Christian
before.
Bale. Christian Bale was 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
RoboCop.
I didn't
It's a
like
new
the
one.
ending to that.
No.
It seemed like so much for being like, yeah, doesn't matter, bruh. You're still going down.
Gotta go back.
RoboCop. Does that need a new one? Has that been rebooted? Did I miss it? No, yeah, of course. Michael Keaton was in it.
Red's still alive.
It's true.
Redo
But
it.
he certainly isn't in
Yeah.
RoboCop.
Prequel. Okay, prequel.
And there's some major parallels between Aliens 2 and James Cameron, Terminator 2. And so that's what makes me think that he did 2. Because they're in that prison. It's very confined, and it kind of feels a lot like Terminator in that environment. And then there's the death scene at the end where Sigourney Weaver lowers herself into the lava pit.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
exactly how the T-1000... And then Terminator,
Yeah.
he destroys the chip in himself. So was that Aliens 2 or Aliens 3? Yeah, that was... Because she offs herself and is brought back in Resurrection. Resurrection was 4.
Need a disclaimer to
Yeah,
the
you got
Terminator franchise here.
Yeah, but then... And then the Aliens one, which has also been kind of handled. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next Aliens. I'll just check that out. Because it's just like brand...
I didn't like
It's
the
like a-
newest Predator,
No.
but I liked Prey. Prey was bad.
Okay, no, I thought you meant Prey.
I
You
heard
watched that
about
in Canso, right?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Prey was good, but there was a Predator, like Predators. And they did the same thing as the Meg, and they've done it in so many movies that, like, there's one Predator going around, but then they're like, oh, psych, that's small Predator. Look, a big Predator coming through, and there's just like a massive one coming through. He's the real villain. But he's got heart. This one guy got a relationship with him.
Oh,
potential.
that's
Misunderstood
That
Predator.
ruining it.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta be
It was too
heartless.
much. It was too much.
Yeah, did you think Predator 2 was an upgrade from Predator 1? I mean, both
Yeah.
standalone
Oh, yeah.
films, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, you like
I
Dan
liked
Glover
it.
in there?
Yeah.
Dan Glover's solid.
The net full of heads hanging from the trees and stuff. I thought
Yeah.
that was way better. And then in Prey, the gun.
They pass back the gun, pay
Yeah.
it off.
Yeah.
You know, that's all the references. And that's one of the most entertaining parts of remakes. Why
Yeah.
I do enjoy them. It's a little bit cheap fan service sometimes, but I make those references back. Can be contrived, but hopefully they do something with it in the next one.
It was funny because after I watched Prey, I was like, I might as well put on Predator 2, and then the gun comes up right away. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Did you have any ideas for, like, did you think about Fargo, for example?
No.
I thought it'd be redundant because there's already a series.
Yeah, the series has prequels and sequels to Fargo.
There's a couple things like that.
And
So it has
like
that
12
are
Monkeys.
brilliant, too.
And
12
Fargo,
Monkeys, same thing.
did Fargo
Yeah.
the series come out like when Netflix was already like well established and all that? 'Cause,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This is the
It
thing.
wasn't
is
even on Netflix, I don't think, that it came out on. It was
But
Showtime.
it was
or
way
maybe.
after streaming, yeah.
that, okay, because I mean now, as far as I get sense it like streaming and making a series, you know, is just as big as making a film now. So sometimes you put that sequel energy into a series rather than another film. Because I mean, yeah, the streaming platforms are just hungry for content, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna write Crave. I'm gonna try to get HBO. I'm gonna start big. Scarface 2. Gonna lay it all out for them.
Okay. I think
Maybe a new Escape from LA. That hasn't been around in a bit,
We
right?
got a sequel, though.
Yeah, well, it's Escape from Another Town. It wasn't a sequel. It was just...
Oh, yeah? Where are we going next? Dallas? Escape from Dallas?
Yeah, there's nothing that got a real
Escape
good
from
ring.
New Orleans?
Yeah. Yeah, you're really in a bind coming up with a name for it because, like,
the
if you're
two
like,
hubs.
oh, Escape from San Francisco, you'd be like, he didn't
Right.
get far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then you'd be like Maine. You'd be like, oh, is he visiting Dexter?
It's
Yeah,
LA, right? Because it was being disconnected from the United States.
Yeah.
And let's think that like a nuclear war is about to happen, so it's Escape from USA. And he has to get to Canada.
Just
Or
fucking
even
floating
further
off on a mobile
Fucking
island, just
Terrence.
like when Pangea separated.
Or maybe
huh?
Canada decides to disconnect United States and he wants to go to Canada to meet up with a love
Yeah.
interest or something like that, or a kid. So it's Escape from USA.
Yeah, there are a lot of shifting tectonics down there, aren't there? This boy has felt it. That rumble.
Yeah, in LA. I had my own earthquake experience in LA or Long Beach.
For real?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Everyone from California was just like, no big deal.
Yeah.
And it's like still going. They're like, yeah, it'll be done soon.
Yeah. Helps me poop when I don't take coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a F2 or an F3?
I forget. He said something like, oh, that's just a 2.
You know, DiCaprio hasn't been in a lot of sequels. He's like a standalone actor.
You want to see him get another shot at the bear? You think he could take him the second time?
Yeah,
around?
yeah. You know, he goes back, watches the tape.
Yeah.
That's what Fury did after he fought Deontay the first time, right?
Yeah.
Fucking clocked him real fast the second one.
Yeah.
Time traveling glass. I can't remember his first name, but he's a real character in history.
Yeah, yeah.
That was known for surviving a bear attack and doing a bunch of other amazing things. And so yeah, that was based on a real life character.
What about still eating Gilbert's grapes?
After all these years?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. They probably... Oh, that's a great idea, because after a long time, what happens to grapes?
Raisins and then wine.
And then vinegar.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's fucking turning into a damn fruit fly trap at the end.
That's rude.
Get mixed in with water to make sure floors are clean.
I can see it.
Oh, but Forrest Gump too.
Thought that might come up. I'm surprised to hear it from you.
Come out around Christmas time or what?
I mean,
There's a lot of that.
Haley Joel Osment. Just bring Haley Joel Osment back. I mean, I would go see it.
Seven Senses?
I don't know if I'd go see it with Haley Joel. He's pretty good in Silicon Valley, though. But he is kind of just the
Funny
same
in The
kid,
Boys.
but bigger.
He's hilarious.
In The Boys.
He's kind of like when you put... I want to
Best
say...
thing he's done since Secondhand Lion.
You see where people put gummy bears and salt or something and they just expand like those old, like jelly-ish things that you would put in water and they get big.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of how Haley Joel Osment aged.
yeah, exactly.
Looks the exact same, just bigger.
Yeah, it's true. But like his features stayed the same.
Yeah.
It just his face grew around it.
Beautiful baby face.
Yeah.
I wonder if I lost this.
Are you still waiting on a Kill Bill 3? You think that'll ever exist?
That was Tarantino's only sequel. I guess it was a two-parter. Yeah, one time he made it a sequel.
Yeah, there's so many little loopholes with some of these directors. Like, technically, Christopher Nolan made sequels with the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The Batmantons.
Like who? I'm trying to think of other directors that did a lot of sequels.
That did a lot. We've touched on a lot of them.
Twins, Matrix 4.
Yeah. But like Spielberg, Lucas,
Yeah.
James Cameron,
Yeah. Oliver Stone do any sequels?
Michael Bay. Oliver Stone is not a big sequel machine, I don't think. Maybe some
Fight
of
Club.
his dogs.
I got the graphic novel Fight Club too.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to the story about the True Romance tapes, how there's 2 discs. I went to watch Fight Club, and if you put the Fight Club DVD in, it comes up Never Been Kissed, and then goes all glitchy. But it was the next movie I watched after the True Romance fucking debacle. So I was like, they got me again!
Can't trust anybody.
Yeah, no, Never Been Kissed? Are you kidding me?
It's like Wedding Singer, but not funny.
Fucking love The Wedding Singer. That should have a sequel. Still singing.
I was thinking Edward Scissorhands too.
Oh, yeah.
Do that.
Still cutting.
Still sad.
Wonder if Winona Ryder would want to be in a movie with Johnny Depp again. Oh, and
It's a whole
also,
new town.
Wino Fever. He actually has that as a tattoo.
Shawshank Redemption, does that come up
Or
ever?
he busts him out. Yeah, he goes in there to free Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman got out.
Yeah,
He
red.
goes in there to free some other buddy.
Turns into like a bucket list kind of thing, I guess.
American Beauty too.
Eternal Sunshine. Did that crop up on your list?
I think I did look at that same list. Final Destination had a couple.
Yeah.
What
Not
about
as good as the first. Well, actually, you know what? Final Destination 2 is pretty good.
David Chase and heavy with the regrets over his ill-fated Many Saints of Newark prequel?
Mm-hmm.
Think he should try his hand at a sequel?
I don't know. Do you think Little Feeney did a good job?
Well, he wouldn't be in the sequel unless it doesn't come out for 25 years. But what kind of sequel does that?
This is giving me guff now.
Sam Raimi does a bunch of sequels. Peter Jackson, Francis Ford, J.J. Abrams.
Oh yeah, franchises. Hard Candy too.
Jawbreaker.
When Harry Left Sally. What about that?
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? 80% of marriages now dissolve in dispute?
Yeah. What about Lobster Pot? Lobster 2? Did you get in on that? I had a good AI before, but this is as good as it seems to be getting now. For 9. I guess the guy in the light's the devil. Before, it was actually one of the characters had horns. They're both doing detective work.
Secret. Yeah, okay. That would tip the audience off, though, because you want it to be a surprise at the end, right?
Looks
What do
like
you
Sherlock.
think AI for Scarface 2 would look like?
I mean,
That's what I said, the devil and Sherlock Holmes solving a case.
Oh.
And before, it was a guy with a pipe and the devil.
Yeah.
Way better.
You should have had the devil's daughter in there. That's one of his cases.
I like either of these. Either the retro style.
Oh, yeah. I like
Because, I mean, it will be... that was shot in the... It was shot in the night.
Looks like his son.
Looks like he
And
fucked his friend from the beginning of the
so
movie.
this would end up in the 90s, through mid-90s.
Oh, yeah.
So that would work.
Yeah.
Because I think you should run into a lost sibling or a friend or something like that. Or maybe...
Lost Sibling.
Lost
the two
Sibling.
Montanas. What are you?
Two Montanas.
Oh,
Hannah
yeah.
Montana fan?
Kind of a
You like Miley Cyrus, do you?
She's like the Griselda of the scenario.
Yeah.
And which one was Griselda?
Oh,
Cocaine Kings 2.
Ferocia. She's like the Ferosa.
Furiosa?
Furious. Isn't that a thing,
Furiosa.
though?
That's coming out. That's a sequel I'm looking forward
A
to.
lot of demand around that character.
I don't know if you call it a sequel. Is that number 4?
been-
Oh, it's called a Mad Max Saga, so it's the 4th. I guess
Quadrilogy.
it's a legit saga when they hit 4. That's
Is it?
true?
I don't
It's
know.
not a
After
trilogy
trilogy?
anymore, it's something
Yeah,
else.
saga.
It's a quadrilogy, 100%.
Yeah, I like that.
Series. Or spin-offs.
When does it hit franchise 5? The alliteration's there.
It's quintessential.
But yeah, it is important. I mean, yeah, at some point in the whole creative process, you would know whether or not you're drawing, if you're contriving a story. But sometimes there is just a natural story that can just continue to be told about something, or just like the
comes out
prequel
like
can
The
always
Way
be
of
told
Water.
what preceded the situation you've already watched.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes you can just go either direction with the story, and I think sometimes it can be done, sometimes it's done terribly. So just to kind of put out a shitty film, make some money.
Yeah, exactly.
S. Darko.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess it depends on how
Sammy.
universal the story really is. Because, Star Wars is just like a bunch of spin-offs, essentially.
Continue, yeah.
Yeah.
Like different points.
But
of time.
not always just this way with sequels, right? They had the offcuts and stuff like that.
Bride
as
of
well.
Frankenstein. Meeting the Werewolf. Godzilla's.
Yeah,
Godzilla
the MonsterVerse.
again.
That was the first one. No, the Dark Universe is what they call those. The MonsterVerse is Godzilla.
Right.
Also looking forward to that. Kong versus Godzilla 2.
Still working.
Yeah.
With today's ability to create those images and stuff like that.
Well, it's going to be a big orangutan.
Right.
And I think they're faking, like there's going to be a actual boss monster at the end. So they're just like teasing with this one orangutan that'll probably be gone in the first half hour. Yeah. But I can't wait. I'm calling it right now. I wish this was on air because I feel like the orangutan's totally going to do this one to Kong and Kong's going to be swinging. Can't hit him.
Yeah.
His arms are too long.
Face palm?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, use that reach.
Yeah. Definitely happen.
All right.
Especially Godzilla.
Yeah.
Short, muscular.
Won't be able to do shit.
His little
Just blast him with
T-Rex
the breath.
arms.
Yeah,
Hit
little
him
T-Rex.
with atomic breath.
Yeah. I lost track of that. Remember the Godzilla with Matthew Broderick? And Godzilla was just a T-Rex.
All about the Benjamins?
He was, yeah, that one. P. Diddy was on that a lot, actually, because Victory was in it, too. But they just made Godzilla T-Rex. Like, if you watch that, I watched it when I was in Cape Breton. It's just Jurassic Park. It's Jurassic Park 2, actually. It's
Not the
exact
Lost
same
World.
movie. Which is the one where the T-Rex comes to town? 2?
I think they go back
Jurassic
to the
Park.
island for 2.
Another great
'Cause then
franchise. Still going, still kicking.
Yeah, because they bring Jeff Goldblum in the third one. I'm thinking that's when it comes in. Or is that because number 2 is pretty long? At the end of 2, did they bring the T-Rex back to Manhattan?
I think it's number 2, and then number 3 is the one where they actually go to the island.
I love when they
Like
bring Jeff Goldblum
the
back.
sun. I think number 3 is actually the best.
Yeah.
Where they go to the island to save the kid, and William H. Macy's in it.
Is there a point where they're going and they gotta dodge a tree branch?
Definitely.
Probably.
I feel like the movies are so unremarkable that's all I can vaguely remember.
This is the
about
one
them.
where someone actually got killed by the little ankle biters.
Oh, yeah.
There's just so many of them.
Damn.
But this is the one where the velociraptors are like going through the long grass, and you can just see the grass going. I thought that one was crazy.
But
And I think that even might be like blue or whatever. Those
Okay, that
velociraptors
is
are the
Chris
ones
Pratt.
that now Chris Pratt has. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Aw, they're so cute in that one.
Yeah.
They were the scariest.
Yeah.
Seeing that back
And you
in
learn a lot.
'93.
Yeah. Yeah, you learn a lot about the velociraptor because in school they're always pushing the Triceratops and the Stegosaurus on you.
Yeah.
But when you watch Jurassic Park 3, they're talking about the claw and how they're actually more of a bird.
Yeah.
Like the ancestors of the birds.
Yeah, birds. Yeah.
But those two that you
I gotta tell you that.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of dinosaurs for sure.
I almost don't even believe in them barely. 'Cause the ones you see in museums are all made of whatever that thing that they.
Bone?
No,
That was
it's not.
dug
It's
up?
not the originals.
It
They're
was
like
danged
alleged casts of the bone.
Alleged casts.
Yeah.
What do you think they were danged?
Just
They were
yeah.
danged out of the ground.
it's like I don't know if this thing was walking around. To tell you the truth, when you see it, it's set up in all of its height and stuff.
Yeah. Did you ever see that statue of that big fella from Cape Breton? What was his name?
The fiddle?
Is that who the fiddle belongs to?
No, but the
Are you
guy.
talking about Stewieac, the mammoth?
Yeah, where is that? No, there's a statue of someone somewhere in
Glooscap.
Nova
Millbrook?
Scotia.
In Parsbro.
Glooscap. No, but there's a statue of this guy who's like the tallest man from Nova Scotia.
Right. I mean, I've
He's come
seen
near Truro as well.
Where is it?
come
Oh,
across in
Glooscap.
your
He's
Gulliver's
pretty-
Travels.
He's scary as hell.
Pretty prominent. In Parsbro,
Oh,
there was a
Parsbro?
freaky,
Yeah.
freaky statue.
Oh yeah, I just saw a thing where there was
It looks like a voodoo doll. Giant voodoo.
there's this story of this Native American that's based on when like colonization and stuff happened, where they get to this village or whatever, and this guy is like 10 feet tall is walking around the village, and they're just amazed at this guy's height. And then they go and they meet his father. And when his father stands up, he's taller than him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Sometimes sequels can be shortcomings, for sure.
Angus McCaskill. Sound ring a bell?
No. That's a name we'll never forget now.
That's what a Nova Scotian thing to say. Huh? Who's your father?
Yeah. He has blue eyes.
That's what I should have asked.
You've definitely seen this statue before. And he has his hands out so you can shake him because it shows the size of his hands.
Oh, wow. That guy's a caper?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His fucking mustache is a foot long to scale.
They even got a statue of you there for scale. That's how tall you are compared to him.
That's the competition next to Richard Linklater.
Richard Linklater could make a film about that guy. Following through his life in real time.
You're like a Benjamin Button. Who did Benjamin Button? Was that Fincher? I think it was.
Would it have
Was,
been?
yeah.
Really?
Back to Fincher.
Jeez, that doesn't seem like the kind of subject matter he'd be into.
Benjamin Button 2. Who knows how old he is?
Maybe we follow him back pre-birth.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe psychedelic.
Before his reincarnation.
Yeah, he just
It's a,
gets into pre-bean.
it's a Bug's Life sequel, too.
So it feels pretty good. Out of this, we got Scarface 2 and Bigger Giants.
You're welcome.
Bigger Giants. Also, Big Rascals.
And also
9. I'm happy with 9.
But 17, yeah.
And The Imitator.
Yeah.
cool.
And what'd you come up with?
Yeah, I think he was repping Forrest Gump too.
Yeah, Forrest Gumper.
Gumper.
What's like more dense than a forest?
Okay, how about you redeem with a quick crossover? What's 2 movies you'd like to see a crossover sequel of?
Great question, and I will answer it.
You can always look at this.
Amazing collection.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
The Warriors and the Expendables.
Nice. I don't know the Expendables. Okay. We'll go Warriors and Con Air.
Very badass.
What do they have to work together as a team? They work. Seemed like a every man for themselves, Twisted Metal kind of scenario.
Spin-off. I'd like to see a spin-off of The Orphans.
What was The Orphans?
Guillermo del Toro.
No, they were in The Warrior.
Oh,
Oh, right. Okay,
Oh.
about them. All right.
Yeah, The Orphans were badass.
What was their uniform?
They were just outside. They were wearing scrappy clothes. They're a bunch of bums. But it's. I'm trying to think of what else this guy was on. He's definitely in Seinfeld and Friends, but he played like the main orphan. He's kind of got a weird eye. I'm trying to think of who he was in Seinfeld, but in Friends, he works in the kitchen with Monica.
Gunther.
No, that's at the cafe.
with Rachel.
Yeah. Glad we don't have that trivia game. Who is he in from Seinfeld? I don't want to have to look it up.
And anyway, I'd be interested in seeing that spin-off about them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of directions to go with that. I like the clowns or whatever they were that had the baseball bats.
Yeah, that's what he said. The Furies.
The clowns.
They kind of look like clowns. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of baseball guys with their face painted. What if Donnie Brasco survived, huh?
What was it? The Springfield Goof or whatever. You remember him?
No. Oh, off of Simpsons?
Yeah.
You guys still doing crossovers? Lord of the Rings and World War Z.
Killed Juno.
Nice.
Directed by Tarantino.
Juno Strikes Back.
Yeah. Juno's pregnant again.
And she's pissed.
Yeah. Jackie Brown has idle hands.
I was actually thinking about Jackie Brown as a potential sequel bait, but
7 more psychopaths.
yeah, I don't know. It's tough. There is some stuff that I'd like to see a sequel to. I'm so scared to sully some of the material.
Oh, well. City of God and White Noise would go well together.
City of God does have a sequel
Really?
called City of Men. Not as good.
Okay.
What did
No.
you say? City of God and...
No, City.
White Noise.
Yeah. Again with the white noise. Yeah. Whole different frequency, this movie. White Noise 2, some more Driver. The drive continues. Yeah, shipment of Dialar makes it to Brazil.
And then crack open the case. Conflict begins.
Yeah.
Everyone recognizes what that is. And then the freaky storm cloud is blown over their way.
Yeah. It's a plume.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys like my idea. Maybe you guys are going to put that down on paper and then put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I think it would work well if we did that for an episode.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which one?
The sequel talk.
All right.
Yeah, we'll bring that to the... we could bring that to the podcast.
Yeah,
For sure.
shoot it sometime.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good to have you over, buddy.
My pleasure, man. So bouncing around some ideas with the pros.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give him a good props. He's been practicing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got to cut him short with the
I
fist
mean, he
bump.
just wasn't ready for it. Nah. Nice. Oh, nice pull. A little bit loose on the pullback. Though. He fucked with me there. He intentionally fucked with me. This guy's got multiple games going at different times.
He's just not good at the props.
He pulls hard and he lets go early. And
He's no prop master, I'll tell you that.
I also tried to lean in just a little bit. I just wanted to see how much flack I
You
would
gotta
catch.
bring the person's hand back. Yeah. Dismount is a little shaky.
do I go
Hey, buddy.
go down these stairs?
Yeah.
You going downstairs?
I wish I could have freeze framed that.
Alright, about. I think I might be forgetting some things, but I guess I'll see you again soon.
Oh, yeah. Take your chicken with you.
Alright, gladly. Scraps.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Dirty Baker's dozen. Come back.